There is a lot of gold moving into China, and we can verify it. There's something to be said about that as we explore. You heard right. We can now verify that at least 524 tons of gold have moved into China. Now, I don't think this is actually going to their central banks. This is a different kind of gold demand. There's been a lot of mystery buying of gold, as we've talked about on this channel last year, but we are getting some confirmation now here by an article from Reuters that says that Switzerland has sent 524 tons of gold into China in 2022, which is the most since 2018. And that is remarkable to think about, that now we know where it's coming from. But let me talk a little bit about that into China, but also all of the gold going into Turkey and Singapore. And Thailand also have surged to multi-year highs in 2022. Swiss customs data showed that as low prices boosted demand from consumers in Asia and the Middle East. Consumers. Now keep in mind, people in Turkey and people in China, as well as India, by the way, too. But really, we're focusing on China and Thailand and Turkey in this post, but especially China. It's been a part of their culture for many, many years. And gold is true value and true worth. In fact, that kind of sentiment for gold and how it's really paid off and even saved people's lives harkens back to a story that a former U.S. Mint Director Ed Moy talked about with his family. It personally affected his family. So gold tells a story, and it can literally save lives when the time comes, and it is proven to be valuable in that regard in China. Now, the article continues here from London, from Reuters. Rising interest rates caused many financial investors in Europe and North America to sell gold last year, releasing large amounts of metal from storage and pushing down prices. So think about it. That is another kind of a testimony to what we are seeing to some degree in the silver markets here. Rising interest rates, many financial investors, the dollar index being strong, people wanting to go into something a little bit more risky, I guess, and putting their money back into the stock market. And in a case like what we see with the markets going up and gold and silver going down. So this allowed bullion to flow to Asian markets, which are more focused on retail of jewelry and small gold bars to consumers who typically buy more when prices drop. Boy, they're smart. And I tell you what, there's many in this community who are smart too, who buy a little bit more gold and silver when the prices drop. And I think it's a good idea. I really do, especially with what many people think is coming. We know for sure that we live in a time of economic instability, which also spurred demand for gold, which many see as a safe investment, particularly in Turkey, where inflation has skyrocketed. And that term safe investment may sound nice and cushy and the like, but investments really aren't safe. Investments by their very definition are risky. So I kind of disagree with that language. You talk about investing in your future in a holistic sense. That can be both health, but also can be in terms of your financial situation. When you hedge against economic instability with gold, you are, in a sense, in a safe investment environment in that regard. But when you think of investments in a financial sense, you're thinking about something that will actually make you money. That's not what gold is for, folks. And the Chinese know that. And I think Turks understand it too. Why? Because many times they see destabilizing currencies and in their nations and hyperinflation. Gold acts as a backstop against that and preserves your wealth. They understand it. And I think more and more people in the West are waking up to it now too. But it just may take time for some others. Gold and all the different forms it comes in, such as, the United Kingdom, with its Royal Arms gold coin. A beautiful piece indeed. And the Krugerrand in South Africa was the first modern 1-ounce bullion coin produced. It started in 1967, a beautiful piece. The American Eagle certainly is the most popular of the options out there for sure, but you have other places around the world who do like to have gold coins for bullion form, such as you see here with this double dragon. Beautiful, and then some of the pieces that you see behind you there. But gold is a beautiful metal, and if you enjoy gold, let me know by pressing that thumbs up button down there. Yes, indeed, it does require a little bit of energy to actually press it, but boy, yet I would appreciate that. Might burn 1/4 of a calorie to do it. You never know. Hey, I appreciate that 1/4 of a calorie if it is indeed. And if you agree with that, type 1/4 of a calorie in the comment section. The article continues here. Switzerland is the world's largest big gold refining and transit hub. There's another answer why this should not be all that surprising to us to see that it came from Switzerland. It imports bullion from mines and storage centers around the world for processing and re-export. And they are actually under scrutiny by some for some of the practices of where they source their gold from some of these mines. And last year, it exported 524 tons of gold worth $33 billion at current prices to mainland China and Hong Kong, up from 354 tons in 2021 and the most since 2018, according to Swiss customs data. Switzerland shipped 69 tons to Singapore, up from 33 tons in 2021. Many people feel that Singapore has one of the freest economies in the world, by the way, but that's a different story. And 92 tons to Thailand, up from 56 tons in 2021 and the most since 2013. A lot of people in the East are getting it about gold and are ramping up their acquisitions thereof. It sent a whopping 188 tons to Turkey, up from 11 tons in 2021, and by far the most in record stretching back to 2012. That's amazing to think about. Turkey has been definitely ramping up in their gold acquisitions. 47 tons to Saudi Arabia, up from 7 tons in 2021, and the most since 2015. The weak spot, however, was India. The biggest bullion market after China, Switzerland sent 224 tons of gold to India last year, down from 507 tons in 2021. That's interesting. Shipments to India slowed sharply in December as gold prices began to rally. From as low as $1,615 an ounce in November, gold prices have risen above $1,940 as Western investors anticipating the end of an interest rate hike cycle started to buy. And I think that's also why you're seeing that shift to silver in India. We've seen that before, but it is really ramped up. And that very well could be why the LBMA COMEX stockpiles are almost drained out. Demand from China may remain solid as the abandonment of COVID-19 restrictions revive economic growth, according to Ross Norman, an independent analyst. But if prices remain high, India's appetite for gold will remain weak. They are real bargain hunters. I don't see demand recovering there for some months, he said. And so, yeah, that means they're going for silver. But nonetheless, no matter what, for you and I, we can learn lessons from this because we can be our own central banks. We can be our own folks that like to decouple from the dollar, as I like to refer to it. At times, it's fine to have some of these in storage in savings so that you don't have to liquidate these. You can liquidate these notes that do lose value. And I think it's a good idea to save up some of this. But I think it's a good idea to also have some gold in your possession, even at these high prices, because the prices are high. It's a good backstop, and many people feel that gold is probably headed a little higher this year. However, we don't know for sure. It could go the other way as well too. No one really knows, but I believe in gold. And I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even play one on TV. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. However, I believe gold can act as a stable store of value in times of uncertainty. Let me know what your thoughts are about gold and about where China got a lot of their gold, at least for the consumers. I'd be very curious to know about the central bank. There's a lot of secrets in China. There's a lot they're not telling us. But one thing we know for sure is that they have a lot of gold, and they probably may have more than what some people think in some regards. But who knows? A lot of people think some people think the other way as well too. But I'm certainly confident that no matter what they do, we are free here in the West to buy gold in various different forms and styles and denominations, from old classic gold, such as you see here, and these two types of pieces, or you can get modern bullion coins, such as you see here. So there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are about this story and about gold in general. Are you a buyer this year, or are you sticking with silver? Let me know, and I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to all of you for taking the time to watch this video, and to encourage you to please rate, please share, comment, and subscribe.